the Black Panther movie that's coming out in 2018.
That's right. 2018 seems so far away.
It does, but it's not, because look at how fast this shit is going by.
But doesn't that scare you, man? Like, I feel like people are like,
oh, it scares me because I'm 42. Like, I mean, soon I'm gonna be barking up the tree like of fucking like 70 something, and I'm just gonna be like, you know.
Yeah, but I just feel
like
it's
sitting
like
here with these mics, like, hey, you know, I remember when.
Have you guys seen? Now, you remember Home Alone?
Yeah, Macaulay Culkin,
he's dead. So he took Don and I were talking about this the other day. 2 days ago, we were talking about.
He was just 62 years old. He's a goddamn dead kid.
Macaulay Culkin, dude. He took a picture in Times Square with Bob Saget and fucking Seth Green.
Oh yeah, I was listening to that.
What a loser. Anyway.
But yeah, so
he's directing Black Panther. I'm interested to see what he's gonna do with it, because that's a big change. You're going from a movie that is very reality based. It's kind of a down to earth film to Marvel superheroes. So that's a big twist. So, but I mean.
Oh, it's such a jump, because here's another thing.
But because of how well Creed did, I have faith that he would do a good job with this one too.
Because another thing, though, is that it's actually not only just like superhero based, which takes it out of like that realm of reality or whatnot, but it's also, as far as I know, it's going to be an origin story, and it's going to be basically based in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be this like completely made up nation of Wakanda, right?
Yeah.
So it to me, it's like it's a double whammy, because it's not based in reality at all. Like, it might as well be space, because there's no Wakanda in real life. I still feel like you can. I still feel like you can take the concept and put it into. It's kind of like what Christopher Nolan did with Batman. Like, Batman is a very fictional character. Like, Batman in itself is very comic book and you know, yeah, very very comic book-esque. But they took that concept and put it into a very real. God, what's the word I'm looking for? Not the scenery itself looked real. It didn't look like Tim Burton fake land. It looked like real life. It looked like New York City almost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I think they filmed the majority of that in Chicago.
Right.
But you know what I mean? It had a very different feel. So I feel like they could take the concept of Black Panther and put it into an environment where it is going to feel almost like real life. Even though the location may not exist, the concept, I think, will still seem real to some degree.
Fruitvale Station was the other one that he directed.
Right.
And I just feel like he takes a lot from reality. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This director. I feel like all of his stuff is like based on reality, based on stuff that maybe he's experienced. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna. I don't know what to expect, but I think, like you said, like, I mean, with the success of Creed, the success of Fruitvale Station, which is like critically acclaimed, and it's a good movie. I feel like he can definitely pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what to expect. Like, I'm like,
no, but have they cast Black Panther yet?
Yeah, so he's already cast because he's in Civil War. It's what's the guy? I can't remember his name.
It's not Jimon Hansu, is it?
No. No, he would. People wanted him to be Black Panther, like something fierce. Like, I mean, like every single website, like that was the name that people were throwing out there on the forums, was like Jimon Hansu.
It's funny because I'm looking up him and it says he's Black Panther.
Because he's not.
But he's not.
He's totally not. I can't remember the dude's name, but he played
Chadwick Boseman?
Yes, Chadwick Boseman. I was just going to say it. He's the dude that played James Brown.
Oh, well, okay, yeah. All right. I could see that. What do you think?
No, I think he's going to be great. Like, he's an excellent actor.
Would you prefer him or Jimon Hansu?
Oh, God.
See, that's a tough question.
Because, I mean, Jimon Hansu is actually already a Marvel character, though. He played in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, he did.
So
who cares, man? He can play 2 people.
all right, a little bit of static.
Okay.
He played in Guardians of the Galaxy, and yeah, you and I are probably on the same level here, where we think, yeah, you can play 2 people, but Marvel and Disney are like, nope.
But you know that's going to happen, where they're eventually going to find a way to merge the two. Because the way that Marvel's going right now is they're intertwining so many different series together with references to each other.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
but
if Jimon Hansu and Black Panther ever cross paths, it wouldn't be possible if it was the same actor.
right,
So in that respect, I think that makes sense.
exactly, and that's exactly where they got that whole idea. Plus, because everything is so intertwined, like even if they never meet, like you already know what his character looks like in Guardians of the Galaxy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you see him show up as the Black Panther, you're like, wait a minute,
Right.
that's Homeboy, isn't it? And it's like,
Then
yeah,
it breaks
totally.
the kind of illusion,
Exactly.
of you not having. So, on that note, talking about Marvel characters, I finally finished Jessica Jones,
Really?
which I thought was awesome. I thought Kristen Ritter was phenomenal. She is just like a excellent actress. Her sarcasm, like over the course of maybe I think like the 5th or 6th episode in, like I didn't even see Kristen Ritter anymore.
Right.
It was legit Jessica Jones. Because whenever I watch a series, it takes me a while to get engrossed in the character.
Right.
And after like 5th episode, I was like, it's Jessica Jones. And they said her name enough times over the course of the film for me to,
Jessica.
yeah. And oh my God, that guy was great.
Yeah.
He was excellent.
That was he's one of the best villains, man.
Kilgrave is one of those guys that, if that was a real person, I mean, even if it's not a real, I mean, he's unstoppable. Like, there's not much you can do to fuck with that guy because anybody that comes in contact with him is going to be controlled. So it's a very hard person to do anything to, and he was very manipulative, and I think one of the best parts about that was you didn't find out until maybe about 8th episode in that she was no longer being controlled by him.
Right.
And like the whole time I'm thinking like, what is this guy up to? Like, why is he on your own terms bullshit when like for the first 2 years of her life he was controlling her, or for that 2-year period I think it was. It just seemed interesting, but they never did explain how she was immune to it. I feel like because it was a virus, she built up some kind of antibodies that protected her against it.
Right.
Because she was with him for so long. But they never really did explain that. It was just like it became more of like a biological thing.
Right.
Where I guess the father even made him like more powerful because he was creating injecting that like updated or that induced virus into his spine. I don't know. It was really trippy, man. But it was good to kind of see her start to get the best of him when he was in that cell.
Yeah.
Really starting to mess with his head by playing that video. That video was the only thing that bothered him because he would cover his ears.
Yeah.
But I wanted to see him break. Like, he never really broke, though. He was on the verge of it, but I wanted to see him snap.
Oh, you saw him snap?
Oh, yeah, we did. And I knew that was coming. But I wanted to see him snap, like, mentally for a little bit,
Yeah.
It was excellent. It was excellent. Jessica Jones, very well put together. I thought the guy who played Luke Cage was fucking awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And that guy is going to continue to be Luke Cage.
Yep.
Which I'm happy about because he did such a great job. Like, his character didn't have any flaws. I think throughout the whole season he was spot on. And dude, the guy's jacked.
Yeah.
Let's just say that shit right there. Like, I'll give props to him. Like, the guy's jacked.
Yeah.
He probably is unbreakable in most ways.
Like, there's a scene in Alias, right?
Yeah.
It's the same exact scene, like where, like they meet in the bar and they talk and like, they go back and they bone each other, right?
Yeah.
And then when he sits up, he's sitting on the side of the bed and like they show him, like they show him from behind, they just show his back. Like in the comic book, like his back is he's just fucking ripped. He's just like, he's like fucking. It's ridiculous, and you're like, there's no man in the world like that. And then they fucking show him in this series, and he's just fucking jacked. Like, I'm just like, okay, this guy's fucking Luke Cage, like legit.
Yeah, legit.
Like,
yeah,
fuck.
He was
Totally.
He was so good. And my favorite part was, I think the coolest thing to me was, I didn't see it coming. Was when he took the saw to his to his skin, and then it started breaking, and then there was the other scene where like she goes to the bar and he like closes the window and it's like boom, it just blows up, and I'm like, dude, he's fine. And then he just walks out on fucking fire. Yeah. I'm like, what a G. Like, this guy's the fucking man, you know? But it was just so cool, you know?
It was. It's awesome, man. Like, my favorite Luke Cage moment was in the bar, and they're fighting. And he's just like...
the dude with the glass just like cracks. Like, yeah.
Yeah. No, well, there's that, but then there's like also just the fact that he's like not really fighting. He's just
he's just like punching people.
Yeah, like super nonchalant. Like he's just like, this is fucking bullshit. And he's just like rolling his eyes and like, you know, what the fuck? Like, you know, and then that guy does that and he does that and he fucking takes his head and he pushes it on the bar and he's just like, all right, here's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
We're going to go home and sleep this off.
Yeah. What's the deal with that too? Like, did they ever? Because I haven't read the whole comic yet, but did they describe like what the deal is with? Because what's her name? Who's the blonde chick again? What's her name?
Oh, Trish.
Trish. She got information about who Kilgrave was and those other kids who have like gifts. Like, what's the deal with that?
That's not something that they ever touched on in the comics, because Kilgrave in the comics is they never really explained his power. He just has the power.
He just has it, yeah.
Yeah, because in comic books, like, you don't really have to explain powers to people.
Yeah, they just,
you know what I mean? So I got bit by a radioactive spider. Boom! Yeah. I'm climbing walls and fucking swinging around and shit.
Yeah.
Right. Or you know, like you know, I woke up like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I'm floating. You know, like nobody really questions that shit. You're reading a comic book, but in a show where you have people that don't necessarily read comic books that come from that world, you have to explain shit like to make it a little bit more realistic, so people aren't rolling their eyes and saying, "Oh, fuck this show."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So they kind of gave an explanation to Kilgrave's powers, and like in the process, it looks like they may have created maybe another avenue to go down, like where they can get other, you know, superpowered beings to show up, which would be kind of cool. I'd like to see them explore that a little more in like maybe a season 2 or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this, a spoiler, so, but you guys know that about this podcast. At the end of the last episode, where Kilgrave basically goes down, it caught me very off guard, in a good way, because I was thinking to myself, when he grabs Trish, and he's like, well, you're going to have to deal with this, that, like, I'm going to be basically raping her, and whatever, and then he, like, takes her on the friggin', about to go on the yacht, I'm like, God damn it. We're going to have to wait until season 2 to see what happens with this fucking guy. And then all of a sudden he fucking gets killed off. And I'm like, fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't see that coming. I'm like, finally. Like, I watched a show and I don't have to have some fucking bullshit cliffhanger. Like, I like how it ended. Like, I feel like if they do that each season where it's just a different person.
Yeah.
Awesome. But like I was at the end of that fucking episode, I'm like, motherfucker, this guy's gonna get away again, and we're gonna have to wait until whenever the next season is filmed. But they just took care of it, and I was like, I literally sat back and I was like, I could relax. I'm like, nice.
They handled their business, man. They did a really good job with that show. Like, I mean, from beginning to end, there was this moment in the middle, like maybe the middle episodes, like maybe 6, 7, where it was just kind of slow.
Yeah.
And you know, it wasn't really a whole lot going on, but even in those episodes where it wasn't a whole lot going on, there was a shit ton of things going on that if you're a comic book fan, right, and you've, you know, been reading the comics for years, you can pick up on little things that, you know, are like Easter eggs. You know what I mean? Like, so like the whole Trish Walker thing, she's another character that, you know, they could totally run with, like maybe during Defenders, because the character that she is like one of the Defenders, Hellcat. Let's see, the cop
Simpson.
He's actually another character.
Mm-hmm.
In the comics, he's Frank Simpson. In this one, I can't remember his first.